Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right then. Hey, anyone that's watching this. So it kind of caught me off guard, but Cycling74, who make Max, just released Max version 9 a couple of days ago. And I know nothing about it. I don't know what was planned or anything like that. I've seen a few little kind of trailers in the last couple of days, which look kind of interesting, kind of exciting, but I genuinely don't really know what to expect. So all I've done is install Max 9, and I thought what we would do is we would just kind of open it up and maybe have a look on the Cycling74 website and figure out what some of the new bits are, and see what's good, and maybe see what's less good. See what's less good. He says, looking nervously, it looks like they've got a new logo, and I don't know how to feel about it. But yeah, okay, so let's load it up. I probably should have done a bit more prep for this, like, you know, check that it runs on my computer. We might be about to be greeted by like an error message or something, so I don't know, let's find out, let's see what happens. God, well this is interesting. What shall I do? New patcher, I guess. Dive in. Oh wow. Well, this is embarrassing. Trial not started, saving disabled. I have actually bought a license. It was very expensive. That's my first impression of Max version 9. I don't remember how much the last version of Max cost, but my god, this felt expensive. So let's see if it's worth it. But yeah, okay, first things first, dark mode. Guess it's 2024. May as well have a dark mode. Okay, so actually, this is a terrible way of doing this, right? I shouldn't just like start fumbling around in the dark mode. I should probably actually see what Cycling74 are saying. So I've got here, I've got the introducing Max 9 kind of homepage, which looks very swanky. But I thought maybe let's have a little look at see what they're saying that it's about. More direct, more transparent, full of inspiring new features. Oh god. Okay, alright, well, let's see if we're inspired. New collection of audio objects based on Ableton's ABL library. ABL library. I'm not familiar with this. The biggest jitter update in years. Okay, so yeah, some of the adverts that I've seen kind of flying around online have been very jitter heavy, which I've got to say I'm surprised about, right? I mean, jitter is one of the kind of, in my experience, less frequently used elements of Max. You know, if you're using like, you're doing kind of like heavy video work, I'd expect today you're probably using something like Touch Designer, or maybe something like, you know, Unity, or like a Blender kind of game engine. So I'm excited to see what all the jitter stuff is about. Okay, interface improvements, reinvented coding workflows. Okay, hello. Okay, this is interesting. Right, ABL objects, Ableton sound for Max. Oh, right. Okay. So it seems like they have done. It seems like they've done live for Max, right? So we've had Max for Live for years. We've had being able to run Max MSP inside Ableton Live, and if they just switched it around now so we can run Ableton Live modules inside Max. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure what to think about that. Oh, there's someone in the chat. Hi, Andreas. Okay. Distortion effects, dreamy reverbs. I mean, the promise of dreamy reverbs obviously fills me with joy, but I'm also a little nervous. Okay, we're going to have to come back to this. We're going to look at this one. ABL library. Yeah, okay, this could be really interesting. This could be really exciting. Yeah, people been waiting for live for Max. I mean, I guess, okay, let's say it now. Let's get it out in the open. And then hopefully I can be pleasantly surprised when we open this up and have a look. I am worried that this is going to be like Visi or the BEAP, the beep modules, right? Where it was just like a preset module that you drop in Max. That's my worst case scenario. But actually looking at this kind of what we've got going on here on this demo video, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more interesting than that. Dare I try and play the video? Is that a level of YouTube live stream that we shouldn't descend to just yet, like watching promotional videos? Find out. Okay, if this deafens you, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Okay. There's a lot going on here. Oh wow. Hey look! Okay, I'm guessing we're going to get into this, but have they got syntax highlighting in objects now? Like, look, there's things that are different colors, like the arguments are a different. This is cool if that's. Okay. I mean, okay. As far as adverts go, I've got no idea what's going on here. But I'm seeing lots and lots of cool stuff, and it sounds lovely, right? We've got lots of kind of effects going on here. I'm just curious if this is going to end up being like sort of just dropping a VST reverb on the end of your signal chain, or if we can do. I'm guessing we can do interesting things, right? If these are actual Max objects that are representing Ableton kind of DSP devices, then presumably we can do some interesting things with arguments rather than just have like the BEAP kind of modules that you have like a couple of inlets, a couple of outlets on. Okay, that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. That could be interesting, particularly because we've just had a new version of Ableton, right? Ableton 12 came out a few weeks ago, months ago. Kind of lost sense of time, but I haven't updated yet. Do need to do that. I jumped straight on the Max update, and Ableton is sort of languishing somewhere. Okay, what else have they got? Patching with code. Oh, okay. We've got the code box back. We've had the code box since Gen, haven't we? But before that, like the JS object running JavaScript in Max is not new. Like I've been doing that since like Max 6, 5, something like that. So that's not new. The fast modern JavaScript V8 engine. I don't know much about JavaScript, but V8 is Chrome, right? So we've had that for years. Is it new? Well, I guess modern is not new. Fully reinvented. Okay, well that's exciting. I mean, I think running like JavaScript code inside your Max patch has always been like a really fun possibility, and I feel like it very often got like overlooked. I guess maybe it wasn't particularly efficient for certain things, but yeah, using it to populate kind of call objects and things like that was always fun. I used to have a piece for a Disclavier piano, like an automatic piano, that was all based on the Collatz conjecture, so I got to generate that. It's a really basic kind of, if n is odd, then do this. If n is equal, do this. And you basically just have numbers running up and down, coming back to 1. So the piano would just do that. And that was all in JavaScript. So the Max patch just looked kind of funny because it was just a JavaScript box and then MIDI out. And that was about it. Hey, other people in the chat. Hey. This is my welcome. This is my kind of weird 10 years too late descent into trying a live stream. Is my audio okay? Is my mic all right? I'm kind of always just terrified that it's just crunching away and like peaking because I can't really focus on too many things at once. And as we all know, Max is pretty overwhelming at the best of times. So trying to keep track of this. Hey, someone in the chat's just got Max but can't think of a project for it yet. Oh, well, hey, perfect time to join because there's lots of new stuff, and as we look through it, maybe that'll spark some new ideas. Okay, so more of this JavaScript stuff. That's kind of fun. I need to find out more about v8 because my very limited knowledge of it was that it was all to do with Chrome, or it was what Chrome was built on, so it's like a Google thing. But oh, hello, introducing jitter geometry. Okay, moving beyond the jitter matrix, cool, yeah, into that. 3D geometry data, several. Okay, oh, now this is, I mean, this looks very exciting, whatever's going on in this video. We've got some like Dato Manobe kind of 3D stuff going on. Is that a duck? Hold on. Hold on. I have to know what's going on here. It's a rubber duck. Okay, very CS50. Oh, good lord. I love this. Let me turn it down. It's sort of piercing. Oh wow. Okay, I've got no idea what's going. Okay, so earlier on I said I was kind of curious about the that they're going hard on jitter and why you would do that when there's things like Touch Designer out there. But it really does look like they are kind of heading into that sort of side of things, you know, that kind of computer generated stuff. Yeah, okay. Let's find out about these geometry objects. My jitter, if you've seen any of my jitter videos, is very basic, my jitter knowledge. So it's pretty much limited to some very basic like GL stuff and then the jitter matrix. So if they're all of a sudden moving away from the jitter matrix, hey, I'm out in the deep, deep ocean of new jitter stuff, so that's going to be exciting to learn. Enhanced visuals, okay, yeah, cool. Jitter FX. Oh, well, that, you know, that's kind of nice, actually. For anyone that's not done jitter before, kind of finding all of the various different ways to manipulate the jitter matrix. And we have, like, some sort of slightly oddly organized things, like, you know, working with hue, and in a previous thing we've done sort of kaleidoscope visions and delays and things like that, but they've always been a little bit weird finding the different objects. So I guess maybe if they've just... Is this a library or just an object? Let's find... God, right. Turn that off just for a second. I think we know what's going on. Okay. Oh, so maybe it's all a bit more kind of contained. That could be interesting. But it doesn't look like they're talking about the Visi library, which is probably a good thing. I'm always a bit wary of these kind of like, we'll do everything for you objects. And I've just seen a comment in the chat as some advice: whatever you do, avoid Swiss Army knife patches. It'll literally never end. And yeah, that's true. And I think the more kind of pressing thing is that if you try and make something that does everything, you kind of don't learn anything. You risk kind of overlooking all of the things. They're really going to town on jitter, aren't they? So so far, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new things. 3 of them so far have been jitter, which is, I'm surprised. So jitter.gm, Jitter FX. In window UI objects. Huh? You've got widgets? Oh wow! All right, okay. This could be interesting. They're really going hard on jitter. This is fascinating. I mean, for those of you that don't know, if you've not used Max before, like, it's pretty much always been audio centered, I guess. I know in Max 8 or whatever they had before, they started to kind of bring out this connect everything idea, and people were doing stuff with modular synths and kind of branching out more to hardware. But like historically, Max was kind of data stuff, and then MSP was the signal stuff, and then jitter came along a little bit afterwards, and maybe didn't get as much love as everything else. So it's kind of cool to see that they're going scene rendering, jitter in production. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Maybe that is a little pointer to what they kind of are hoping people will start using Jitter for. Interesting. Remote control. Okay, so this is okay. So now we're getting maybe to the new features that are kind of more generic, kind of everyday use. Parameter connect. Easily connect UI objects in Max. Supported without any patch codes. Ooh. So what, like named variables? Okay. This could be. That could be interesting. That could be confusing for a lot of people, but I think that could be useful. OSC integration. Yeah, makes sense. OSC being the kind of alternative to MIDI. Yeah, someone in chat, just going back to the Jitter thing, talking about importing 3D models from Blender and having kind of something like audio morphing that. That looks like that's going to be a thing now, because I'm guessing that the rubber duck was not kind of, that wasn't a body that was generated in Max, so I'm guessing that's come from somewhere else. So yeah, sculpting somewhere else, bringing it is probably going to be a good thing. But yeah. Oh, okay. Quality of life stuff. Ah, yeah, syntax coloring. Okay, we saw that in the video. I'm very excited about that. I'm probably a little bit too excited about that. I think that's gonna be interesting. List view. Explore the objects in your patch with a list-based interface. Oh, all right. Rapidly filter, search, and edit objects as the numbers change. Oh, okay. I quite like that. Is that like an alternative to the inspector, where we're seeing properties of an object? Okay. Global record button. All right. Preset mixing. I mean, but we've had the node object since like Max 7, haven't we? Did that not do that already? Let's assume not, but that's cool. The node object is super fun. We should definitely use that. Maybe I'll pull it up just because it's fun. I like it. Oh, someone's saying the OSC implementation looks really clean in the inspector. Oh, I'm excited to open it now. Oh, REPL. Okay. Yeah, REPL is like in object-oriented programming. Isn't that the description of like of a class or an object, an instantiation of a class? Okay. I mean, wait, have they given us like command line for Max? Oh my god. Okay, I love this. This is so unnecessary. Yeah, someone's just said in the patch live coding, this really feels like a little hat tip to all of those people that said Max was never real live coding. Like, you know, it's all got to be text-based programming or it ain't legit. This is a little bit of a cheeky wink in that direction, I think, but that's fantastic. I love it. Actually, I wonder if you can like dynamically create objects here, because at the moment they're just showing us adjusting arguments going to things. So we're changing the tempo object, but then they're passing like JavaScript functions, the ceiling object there. Okay. Okay, so they're creating a slide object, or is there a slide object already in this patch? I can't see anything, it's so blurry. Oh, helpful, you can change the background color of your playlist. Yeah, it could simply be OSC under the hood. It just looks like they're writing variables to various objects. But I just like that there's like a nice sort of contained way of doing it from the console, I think, rather than like just having to like open the inspector, find your thing and change it. Like having it from the console is really neat. I love that. Okay, that's gonna be fun. It's so unnecessary, but it's just yeah, into it. Okay, cool. New tools for learning. Okay, that's sick. As someone who obviously teaches this day to day, I should probably stipulate I'm not like a what they called certified Max instructor or the Cycling 74 thing. I just work at university and make videos like this, but that is amazing. That illustration mode, I think, getting people to understand the data flow right in their like first intro to Max, because we had debug, which is lovely, and that's really, really good for seeing like signal changes and seeing like number values, but actually having that movement, oh, I love that. Presumably, I'd be curious to see like how it's running. Is this just like a debug mode where the patch isn't actually running, it's just demonstrating signal flow, or? Oh, okay, I'm going to try that because that's cool. And examples and tutorials online. We would hope so, because really, if you're not publishing docs, what's the point? And also, you know, hey, I should also take this opportunity to say that the single best Max teacher is the reference. Right, the documentation is way better than any YouTube video or some idiot in a room telling you things to click, like just alt-click the object, open the help file, just best way. Even more improvements. Macros, okay. Oh, new HID. Maybe we'll do a little, I've got play with that. Oh. Nope. OSC always reminds me of the monome grid. Hey, you know what? Like, where is it? Languishing in a drawer somewhere. I have a DIY monome. This is one of the Neo Trellis clones. That is really not brilliant, but I bet this could be really fun if we can hook this up. And I'm probably not supposed to, I think you're supposed to, they want everyone using like the live push and stuff now, but man, DIY yourself some stuff and then throw that in, that could be fun. But yeah, I think, you know, particularly liking that up with the like console commands, that could be fun. Yeah, okay. Multi-channel meters on toolbar volume control. Wait, is that just the outputs? Oh, hang on. Patching margin provides extra space while editing at the edges of a patcher window. I mean, it's also completely unnecessary, but I quite like that. Is that saying that, well, we don't have to like bury ourselves down in the little corner and it'll actually move things? Okay, right. I've watched enough of this now. Let's open Max 9 and have a look. Well, we opened a blank patcher before. Dark mode. Okay, so this is making a little bit more sense now. How? What's the best way to do this? Where am I? I'm bottom left of the screen, so maybe if I switch it round. There we go. That's a little odd. But okay, so this is the REPL thing, so this is the console. How do you get a help file for that? The help file? Okay. Where do I start? I mean, obviously, we start there. Snap to grid, obviously. How else does anyone start a Max patch if it's not going to be obsessively aligned? Patching margin. Okay. Right, I've immediately gone to all of the like super lame things. What should we do? How should we start here? What's a good thing? I'm gonna save the jitter thing because the jitter thing I think is maybe beyond my kind of brain capacity at the moment to get into like 3D geometry. So maybe let's start with I want to see what these Ableton things are. I'm gonna guess node for Macs. What node is in JavaScript node? Have I missed something here? Is that what they're just calling the JavaScript V8 thing? Huh. Okay, Ableton DSP. Oh my god. Oh, there's a lot more than I thought there'd be. Okay. Oh wow. Oh wow. Interesting. Okay. Oh, there's that shimmer reverb that I'm talking about. Just out of curiosity, anyone in the chat, can you see this okay? Is the resolution okay? I don't know if I need to like zoom things. Again, my first time streaming anything, so this is probably apologies if it's just viewable. Menu up top, extras has some over. Oh, is this like changes too? Okay. 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 Come back to that in a minute. I'll have a little look, kind of orient myself a little bit. Got the release notes. I'm guessing that's what we just saw. Check. That's pretty much just a... Probably should have started with that. That's just a more detailed list of what we... No, further down. Oh, wait, in the extras. Oh, Ableton DSP objects. Right above BAP. Aha. Okay. Now, actually... Okay, so I wonder if the... Okay, mine's going a mile a minute. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Hey, we've got like actual useful values in the live grid now. Live step. Oh my god. Okay. I think I'm gonna like this. Okay, I'm gonna take back everything I said right at the start where I was a bit worried that this was just gonna be like beep modules, but for Ableton, this is sick. And weirdly, it might, I mean, you know, early days, but is this actually gonna render my use of Ableton completely irrelevant? Because I basically only use it for a few of the effects and soft synths, which I then drive from Macs anyway. So this could be cool. So is the DSP harmonic? Okay, so is that the synth we're running here? Wait. Where's my help file not working? Okay, anyone in the chat have Ableton 12? because I don't know harmonic FM. Like, unless it's just what they're like, unless it's operator. I'm wondering if this is a new synth, because I don't love it when they bring up a help file which basically just shows the thing and doesn't tell you anything about it. Andreas, is that a yes, this is a new Live 12 instrument, or it's a separate thing? Is that the reference? Seriously? There's not a lot of detail there, is there? Huh. Part of the meld synth. Okay, that must be a new one that I've not seen yet. I mean, it sounds lovely. Oh, one of its algorithms. Okay, so like it's like a mode or something, maybe. Okay. I'm a little perplexed that there's not very much information about this synth. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't love that it's implied that I should know about the version from Ableton that it's kind of based off, unless I'm missing something very obvious. I mean, I guess macro oscillator that smoothly fades between FM oscillators, increasing modular ratios. I guess that, that's enough, but it's just not telling me a whole lot. Okay. Maybe this is something that they'll flesh out. Yeah, no, I think it's fair that there might not be that much to it, but I think it's more like kind of expect a few more details than just like what, if we compare this to a lot of the other kind of Max references and documentation. But yeah, I think I'm probably just getting a bit hung up on something. Thinking about this more from a perspective of someone learning this stuff. Telling you that frequency means frequency and amount means FM amount is not a huge detail, but fair enough. Okay. Well, this is kind of cool. Let's have a look at something else. I mean, I'm kind of obliged to go to find that shimmering, aren't I? Okay, right, okay, I kind of get the idea. Let's do something. Let's do something. Because actually, I also want to try. What was it? ABL. What's the syntax here? Okay, the device, DSP. What are the devices? Like a modulation effects, reverbs. Okay, yeah. So have we got what's it? The wavetable. Okay, maybe I should have kept that open. The one's called ABL device are full live devices. Oh, you mean like... Where are they? Multi-channel. Ah! Oh, I see, I'm already in DSP. Oh, okay, yeah, so that's just like the Ableton compressor. The Ableton... Yeah, so is the reverb just... Okay. Okay. Oh, they've simplified it, haven't they? So there's not as many control points for something like the reverb object as there is in the Ableton version. That's interesting. Well, I'm just thinking about the different synths. Like, I'm just trying to think of. I think my favorite Ableton is the wavetable synth, but it looks like that isn't here, which is fair. Okay, let's go basic shapes. That's probably going to do us, isn't it? What do we got here? We're just going to fold between shapes. Okay. Okay, let's get something basic going here. So I will just see my shape going to be. So is this going to be like 0 is sine, folding up to like 1 is square or pulse or something like that? Go like 0.2, see what that is. Effect. It's effect. Like the warp or something? Sine and triangle receive wave folding, saw mixes in a second saw with phase offset, and pulse changes to pulse width. Ooh, okay. Oh, so maybe it doesn't fold in that way. So maybe let's start with 0 and see what happens there. And then we can always go here, and I'll add these just as, I'll just add some floats and see what happens here. Right. Okay, so let's just see. Oh yeah, and also like my first, sighting in the wild of the syntax highlighting, which is kind of cool. Okay, yeah. I'll come back, we'll do something interesting in a minute. So let me just have a little see. Yeah, okay, I'm into it. Yeah, I think one of the interesting things about this, and this is kind of like with my kind of thinking about what I said right at the start about like kind of hesitancy about whether this was Visi or something like that, is the danger with something like this where it's doing something really, really simple, but it's kind of all just burying it in like one convenient object, is that for people coming to this new and learning, this looks like this hides a lot of what's going on, right? So it's always a trade-off between like, okay, well, this is like a simple, this is an efficient way of doing it, and it kind of makes it convenient in terms of the patcher and finding things, just like seeing signal flow. But it also obscures what's going on behind, so we can't see necessarily that there is something like a basic sine wave that's going to be wave folded or shaped in some way. Or like we can't see that now it's doing kind of pulse width modulation of a square wave or something like that. That's always going to be a bit of a risk. Particularly for like new users or people new to Max. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Okay, I like this. This is the danger where this just becomes like a 9-hour stream while I just like really carefully like move through different things. I want to see what this what they're using over here. This new live step. Let's see what that's about, because it seems like I've seen that in a few of the. Wait, that's not the same. What's this? Oh, is this like a B patcher? Oh, it's a B patcher. Ugh. Thought it was a new. Fine. Do it myself. Alright then. Okay, fair enough. I can't be too hard. In fact, I'm just gonna steal it. Okay, I'm not doing this. It's nice. I like it. So let's have something. Something nice. So what's that? That's velocity? So where's my tempo out there? Okay, all right, yeah, I see. Clever. Oh. Oh, this is unpleasant. Squelchy. Okay, right. I kind of wish I hadn't done that now. This is where I probably should have like planned this stream a little better and like had some handy things that I could just drop in and be like, and here's one I made earlier. Ta-da! But I rarely save max patches, at least in a way that I can ever find them again. So unfortunately, that ain't gonna work. Let's just do. Didn't we get recently like Scala tuning in Ableton? I wonder if. Yeah, that would have been nice. Cycling 74, if you're listening, let's have tuning. It's such a mess. Why am I doing this? Oh, okay. Let's go there next. Let's go to Drift. Because Drift is one that I didn't update. I think that came out in the last one, Ableton 11, right? And I never really used it. Just have something, making something. That's horrendous. Okay, I admit defeat. I'm going crawling back to there. Is that note pitch velocity? That's not taking that, is it? That's probably why it was so squelchy and awful. What an idiot. Oh dear. Ah, you know what? I've got debug off. Come on. Probe. Fix probe. Okay. Data. Oh yeah, so it's a pair. Alright. Alright then. Alright, okay, okay. That's that. Oh, and they were using... What else were they? They had a... They had like an ADSR, but was that a new one? Was it just function? No, not function. Was it just... Ugh. What are they using? Oh, it's another... No. That's fair. I'll let them have that. I'm just... At the moment, I'm just hacking out for... They're hacking. You know what I mean. What is this? Is this... What is this object? Is this function? Oh! Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and risk looking like an absolutely awful Max teacher here, but was this in the last version or is this new? Because I absolutely didn't know about it until now, and I've always done it using the function object to generate like a line ramp. I feel like that might have been a really stupid way of working, because this is lovely. I'm going to choose to believe that it's a new thing, and nobody will tell me different. Okay, right, so I've got some noise of questionable nope, not listening to the chat. It's a new feature. I refuse to believe that it was there before. Okay, right. This is annoying me. And this is the thing. So, have they got the no, they haven't, obviously, because it's just a B patcher. I want it to be able to shuffle or, you know, do something interesting. But because I haven't patched it, it obviously can't do any of those. So it's just going to do this, and it's going to annoy all of us. That time division. Oh my god, I can't even change the number of beats. I can't even change the time signature. What's the point of this? Okay, right. Okay. We've done this. I've been assured that the drift Oh, okay, so this is a device because it is just the synth from Max. Oh yeah, okay, we got help here. We got stuff going on. Okay. Okay. It does its own envelope control. This would probably help if I actually knew what this Ableton instrument was. The thing that I'm a little surprised about is, and it's not a bad thing, but this does seem to be keeping it separate from Ableton, right? So we have in Max for Live, I'm going to get this really confused now talking about Live for Max and Max for Live. When we're working in Ableton and then we bring in a Max for Live patch, we are just bringing in like an instance of Max, right? We're bringing in Max MSP, we're opening it in there, and then we're working with it like it's Max. But here, we're obviously not working with it like it's Ableton. But I'm also surprised that there's not more kind of reference and sort of reference to the live device here. You know, like showing us, even just like as a screenshot, showing us what the device in Ableton looks like. So they're maybe, well, they're not assuming the same level of Ableton use within Max as Ableton assumes about Max when you bring in Max for Live, right? Which is kind of interesting. Because on the one hand, I was sort of thinking, well, maybe that's why they've justified the insane price of Max 9, right? Because you're actually bringing in a lot of Ableton. And you are, to an extent, if you're bringing in the kind of DSP elements of it. But it's not like you're opening an instance of Ableton within Max, which, you know, makes sense because that would be stupid and inefficient. But it's kind of interesting that we've like got access to the stuff, but without, I don't know. I'm not really sure what my point is. Maybe I'm just hung up on the reference again. Because, you know, Ableton has like a really sick manual. It's like really detailed and it gives you lots of kind of lovely information about the devices. And here we've just got internal modulation sources and destinations are available. Cool. Do you like, okay, yeah, all right. A little play around. Okay, so let's take our frequency. Left channel, right channel. This is the bit where I start to feel a little uncomfortable with how messy this is. Bear with me. They also haven't decided to make Ollie's life more bearable by adding kind of auto cleanup, which is probably a good thing. You got £100 off Max 9 because you have an Ableton suite. Shit. I have an Ableton suite. I didn't know about that. Huh. And despite what Trial Not Started says, I've already bought it. Well then. Don't I feel like an idiot? Okay. Right, so, what very basic thing am I missing at this point? Does this... Oh, it's taking... It's a device, so it's taking MIDI, not frequency data. I'm thinking of it like it's a synth, but it's not a synth, is it? Oh. Okay, so what do I want? Is it going to be just like pitch and... No, it's not. Okay. Just MIDI note. No, it's also not. Or is it just not working because I don't have any arguments? MIDI format. Yeah, but MIDI format is just... Isn't that just giving me a MIDI message output? I thought it was just giving me like what do you call it? Note pair. I am wrong. Thank you. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got a lot. We start with. I'm kind of curious just about legato. I wonder if that's because it's not. So I guess this is one of the other things, like having all of these features, but when you have the UI of a device like in Ableton, you can kind of see everything else, right? So it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm thinking of this term, but it's very clearly not that because, so for instance, with legato, I'm thinking, okay, well, is it legato? Is that not working because I've done something else wrong somewhere else? Or is there just like another argument somewhere for poly mono, right? Not having everything there is kind of interesting for learning. This is annoying. I've got my enable oscillators, so let's assume that that's God, yeah, see, like once you get into start having like stuff like LFO, but not seeing, I guess this is why in the help file they've got like your kind of B patcher of things going on, right? Yeah, Andreas, if you're not familiar with the synth, then it's a little opaque. It's idiosyncratic, like you say. And I guess without having, maybe there is. I've been looking at this for 50 minutes. Maybe there is somewhere, but without having that kind of like overview of everything, where you can kind of quickly go like, oh yeah, I need this, this, and this. I think it's going to be a little slower to learn. I don't think it's going to be harder, but it's just going to be a little slower. And then once you're familiar with it and you kind of know what works for you and the kind of things that you want, I think it's going to be cool. But actually, I think this could also be where the console, where you can start to write those commands, that could be really fun for like quickly dialing things in if you know. I know that I want my like filter cutoff to be set to boom. So rather than having to like bring in an object, set the parameter argument to filter cutoff, if I can just send a message down here, I think that would be kind of interesting. But yeah, it's kind of embarrassing just because I haven't really used Live all that much in the last year or so. But yeah, do you want to... You know what? This kind of like just ostinato is upsetting me. I am gonna have to just like make something that moves because I can't deal with this. Oh yeah, I like that my attributes have a different syntax color. I like that. Let's go back to like. This is not doing that. Anyone learning Max, please don't do this. This is not a good do again. Oh, position. Oh, no. This is the awkward part in class where I'd be like, everybody talk amongst yourselves while I figure out what very obvious thing I've missed. Is it that I just need a note on note pair? Velocity pair. I hate that if that's the case. Ugh, fine. That's so stupid. I'm gonna choose to assume that the chat didn't want to. Nobody had the heart to point out that I just had the volume turned down. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wow. Hey, look, it's a live stream under a lot of pressure. I don't know why I've done. So can I? Okay, I've clearly done something horrible, and I'm not sending no off messages, or I've not cleared this thing. Can I clear it? That's probably a MIDI format thing. God. Well, that's. I think I've already lost all kind of self-respect just by not turning the volume up. Yeah. Okay. So one thing I'm thinking of now is, can I send audio rate messages to like change parameters? So if I want to change my like filter cutoff, can I use my ADSR, which is sending a signal, to do that? Where would I be looking here? Filter. Oh god. Tracking. A mod amount? No, I just want like frequency cutoff, don't I? Low pass frequency, okay. Oh yeah, but it's a, so it's a control value, so I can't. So am I gonna have to mess around with like snapshots? No, that can't be right. There's gotta be a better way of doing it. Oh, I want to do scale from whatever. What's that going to be sending? 0 to. It's going to be sending 0 to 1, and I want to go 500 to. No, 1500. Let's do that. Oh, because I'm not triggering it. Oh, what an idiot. Oh, and it's an ADSR, so it's going to take a signal, so it wants a signal in and out. Oh my god, I have not thought about this, have I? No, wait, no, that's a silly way of doing it, don't do that. Worst way of doing it, but... I've done something. Just might not have been a helpful something. Well, one thing we've learned is that this is not an efficient way to run Livestream. So that's something. We've learned that. Okay. It's annoying because I wanted to... Alright, well... Just play around with some of the other Ableton things, but I feel like I'm going to leave that there because it's not the most prolific I've ever been. So let's leave that. One thing I do want to... Let's go back into this because I want to play around with that thing that we saw, the debugging version, the sort of teaching, where, and I guess this is going to show that, right? Well, is a good opportunity to show that. So let's have a quick look there. The console is mocking me by showing all of my... So how do we get that? What was it called? What do they call it? Like illustration mode, something like that. Illustration mode. Okay, where do we find that? Oh, this is that list. Oh, okay. No, I should have kept that open. And actually, let's bring this back open because I want to. I'm going to look at the REPL in ABL. Illustration mode. Hey, this is weird. Interesting. yeah, it's gonna... Well, is it? Because it's doing something, it's... Right, so it's not running in parallel. So right at this point, when we get to this bang, our signal splits, right? So on the one hand, we're passing down towards that click, output on the right hand side, and then at the same time we're moving through random, but it's not, I kind of figured that it would show us that split, right? I mean, obviously it has to move asynchronously to an extent because it's doing this slow animation through the path, but that's a little confusing. But I guess just in terms of showing us the values, it's okay. Interesting. I mean, it's nice that it's very easy to... Let's come back out of this. Let me try it. Okay. Is it just not gonna... Is it not gonna let me close this window while the illustration mode's running? Oh god, right. There's not even a keyboard shortcut for that. Let me just have a look. Let's do... Ugh, everybody's favorite. Bang. If I... What? I don't want to... Why is it showing me that? I want to look at this. I have to highlight? Moving right to left. Technically that's right. Okay, yeah, I get it. That makes sense. Yeah, so Max for some reason does run right to left with object. Guess that's a thing that people forget a lot of the time. Most of the time it doesn't really make a difference because we're thinking about these things as running kind of in real time. So more or less that's the same. But yeah, technically it is running right, left to left. So that is true, I guess. But I thought that was more for inlets. And these are actually all the same inlet. They're just different instances of the same class of object, right? So I'm surprised about that. I kind of thought that would split off, but I guess it makes sense. Okay. I think that could be useful. I think that could be a nice teaching device when you're like sending, if you're doing the kind of very basic, like, here's a frequency, we've got a cycle object that we're sending that to, and then we go to change the amplitude of that, and then we go to something like that. Forgotten the control for cleaning that up. So is that gonna... Yeah, okay. Oh, but it's not showing us anything about... It's just showing us the max data, the kind of control rate data. It's not showing us anything about audio rate. Makes sense. Someone in chat asks, what if you put them under each other? What's the order then? Do you mean under each other in serial? So like one bang goes into another bang, into another bang, into another bang? Because then the order would just be like flow to an object, flow to an object, flow to an object, and so on. If it's just an alignment, no, technically it doesn't matter. Oh, that's actually interesting because yeah, on an object it would run argument, 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 right? So let's how do I stop this? Also, I want to know what this is because this looks like an error message, right? This orange thing that's counting down from something. But what? Because I'm not getting anything in the console if it was an error message. What are you doing? What is this? Oh, is there a limit on how many times that the illustration mode will run? Because it's turned it up. Oh no, it's still on. Doing. I have no idea what to do with this, and I'm tempted to just delete this whole object so this stops happening. That can't be. That disable? Bugging. Debugging. Then. So just to to run that illustration. So we had this. Nope. This. They were all connected. So when I was talking about objects in Max running from left to right, maybe a better instance example of that would be something like this. B, B, B. And then is it going to output? Can't remember if it outputs like messages here, numbers. But let's just try that. If I just plug in. So for anyone not following here, remember right inlet of a message is going to print effectively what it's getting. This is just going to be a bang, so I will do this. I'll align this in a second. Oh. Okay, you get the idea. I'm not going to do this one. So get rid of this. So if I just run this, it's going right to left. So it's running the outlets like this, moving right to left. I'm just confused as to why, because these are separate objects. So I kind of think if I turn illustration mode off and I do this, it'll all kind of happen at once. Up like that, right? Now you were saying about what if I put them vertically? I don't think, and actually let's do it like this. Because this previously was over here and it ran before these ones. Then it was over here. I wonder if it does the same thing. Oh God, go away. Oh. I'm gonna minimize it. Oh no, it doesn't even let me minimize it. Why? Okay, this could be a problem with the illustration mode if it just opens up every subpatcher to run it through. Do I just have to wait for it to finish? Is it just doing it again? What the hell? So is this for... Oh, I guess that's for debugging. Well, let's try that next time. Okay. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Only way to abort. Turn it off. Close this. Yeah, still running them in series. Makes sense. Okay, well, the more you know. I guess the thing that we've learned from this is that this is a lovely educational tool for kind of illustrating the flow of data, but it is, I don't think I'm allowed to swear, incredibly annoying to actually run if it keeps just opening stuff randomly. So let's just turn illustration mode off now and hope that it doesn't come back. But I think in class that could be really nice, and particularly if you've got something really complicated and something's going wrong. For instance, like when I had that note thing going wrong, that could probably be quite handy. So yeah, hopefully that answered the question in chat. Okay, what else do I want to look at? I want to find out more about the REPL thing, the REPL. Is it going to give me a nice... Because I don't actually know how to get kind of help file for that. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to the reference. I don't know what we call this now. Is it a JavaScript thing? Or is it something else? Let's go home. Where do I find the help file for this? guess it's new in Max. Oh, it is a JavaScript thing. Okay, here we go. Right. Hey folks in the chat, hello. If you're just joining us, this is me stumbling blindly through the new version of Max 9, like an idiot. But it's good. We found some nice things so far. I'm not going to stray into the jitter stuff today because I'm sleepy and it looks complicated. But yeah, lots of nice stuff so far. The Ableton thing, I think, is probably the biggest element of it so far. I mean, jitter looks like that's the biggest in terms of the amount of new stuff, but this Ableton thing is really exciting. But I've kind of embarrassed myself by making some terrible sounds. So now I'm looking at this JavaScript REPL. Is that how you say it? Does anyone know? REPL? REPL? Text entry area at the bottom of the console that lets you interact with patches via text command. Evaluate JavaScript expressions. We can send messages to Max objects. Control the Max environment with text-based. Oh, that was like in the video when they were changing the background color. Incredibly helpful stuff. And access the documentation. What? Does that mean we can open a help file from the REPL? Because as much as I love alt-clicking, that'd be very cool. So is Max print version? So this is the example that they're like just. Is this like running -v in command line and getting that? Hey, there we go. I don't know what. But the Americans. Okay. Oh, it is like the command line. We've even got the up arrow to scroll back through previous messages to resend stuff. That's kind of cool. Okay. The documentation. So man, metro. Ooh. Oh no, that's nice. Just a little description. So hold on. What was it? What was I complaining about earlier? DSP. Was that new one? Harm. Something. Ugh. Okay, this is not the workflow that you're supposed to do. Harmonic FM. Okay, yeah. That's kind of cool. So these are the kind of default sort of messages. Shortcut menu. Oh, I could do that from the chat. That's kind of cool. So actually, is there a way to hold on? Can I do? It's not going to let me do man of manual. No documentation. Fair enough. That was too much to ask. Because what I want to know is if there's a way that you can actually print like a list of arguments, right, or a list of available functions that I can do in the object, because that would be really handy just to quickly spit out like a list of all of the available like attributes of something rather than hovering over this, which is nice enough. But okay, right. Let's. It's been a while. Let's make some noise. What's this? Where do we end up here? months since I've done Max. Oh no, that's just the initial value. Points in line for outputting. New colors in function. New colors in function? Okay, I shouldn't care about this stuff, but I do. What, like, is it like... Oy. I assume it's going to let me, because there's like sustain points, there's like another command, isn't it? So I assume that it's going to let me color that differently. Ugh. Pew pew. God, Windows key, what are you doing to me? God. I'm done action on this. Yeah, all back. I shouldn't like this as much as I do, but I'm a simple person. Oh my god, I'm so out of practice on Max. I used to know how you could automate the function so that it would change over time and kind of animate. Basically by just like sending commands in here. I can't remember. So if they haven't changed the colors in the help file, how do you mean? What am I looking for here? What am I missing? Oh, is this the connection thing? Oh, we saw this right at the start. So there's like a really handy new way of connecting objects without using patching cables, which I feel like is going to be a nightmare for keeping track of things. But that's kind of fun. It's back to Or shadow? Ugh. My control finger is just like not working. That is a very cold cup of tea. Oh no. Oh, it's so unnecessary and I love it so much. That's my pink. Hell yeah. Look, these are the real important things we needed in Max version 9, everybody. Look, you can take your new Jitter stuff, you can take your Ableton. What we really wanted was being able to set gradient shading in the function object. Ah. Cycling 74 knows what the people want. Okay, this is, yeah, alright. This is kind of cool. And then we saw obviously earlier in the ADSR that you can do like set the exponent of the curve as well and things like that. So, which, yeah, trivial additions when it comes to comparing it with the gradient function. God, gotta love it. I mean, I guess it makes sense right now if like they've really gone all in on like all the JavaScript sort of stuff and. You know, I guess having like better kind of it's not CSS, but you know, like better style and stuff like that, and kind of being able to edit those things. That makes sense, doesn't it? Sorry, I realise this is probably driving people nuts. Okay, one last thing, just because I did want to look at it. You know, it had me at shimmer. Oh, what have I done? Oh. Hold on, what did I connect that to? I mean, it probably makes more sense to have like static frequencies, but I do want to use the functions to change these if we can. Freeze! Oh god, sorry if I deafened anyone. Okay. Oh, so that's just saving the... Okay. We need to talk about freeze, because Ableton's freeze annoys me. And I keep meaning to do the video on the Jean-Francois Charles using jitter matrices to do like really good freezing, and I just haven't made that video in years. But that's cool. Why anyway? Why did that sound terrible then? Oh, because... Oh god, I'm an idiot. Apologies, everyone. Signal flow. Oh, come on. I was doing that too early in the chain. Go. There we go. Ugh. Hell yeah. But actually, let's just change the decay. Damping zone. So shimmer is the pitch. Mix mod. So how did we have... I feel like we should address this control thing because it was a bit of a mess when I looked at it before. Let's just get rid of these. Let's just take all these. And I should really be scaling the duration of the function to be the time between the random notes generated so that we don't have like weird clipping and retriggering, but lazy and I'm just looking at it quickly. So we were looking at this and I wanted to see how we control. So where was it? Or do I connect from here? No, how did I do that before? That's where we had connect come up before. Where did that go? I've lost track of the time and all of a sudden it's like 30 minutes later than where I intended it to be. What's happening? Okay. That's fun. I like that. I do want to know more about the REPL. Because I feel like this is going to be one of those like real like new kind of powerhouses that changes the way that we work with Macs. But I'm just not quite sure how. Well, like I think like the route into it is going to take a little while. Because I feel like that could be... I think particularly as well, like if there are people coming to... Like Max is one of those things, as a visual programming language. It's really interesting for it being kind of intuitive for like its layout, and people get that. And I think if you just say like Max MSP, oh, it's kind of like a guitar pedal board, that kind of makes sense. But bringing in the kind of text-based programming kind of paradigm into things, I think it opens it out a lot more to people that maybe want to try things that are more procedural or kind of have a different kind of workflow under their fingers, you know, like in the keyboard. And I think that could be really, really interesting. Object needs scripting names. Chat. Yeah. So we had those in the past, didn't we? Well, like you had the script name in the inspector to like define a name object, right? Ooh. Did we have that? Was it scripting name or was it something else? Oh, was it just description, like long name, short name? One of that was Ableton things. Scripting name. So you... So let's call this function fold. I think it's a wavefold function. So now if I have the... What is REPL? Is that a specific REPL thing? I've got... What do I call it? Function? No. Let's see what... No, manual... Oh, so is that REPL is the underscore? No? Why is it saying commands are add, but oh, add. Where has it added the float? Maybe I'm misunderstanding. I'm almost definitely misunderstanding this. Oh god. I'm gonna have to just spend ages reading the manual here, aren't I? I mean, I'm not gonna do it now, but unfortunately, it's less intuitive than I was hoping it would be. But I guess that probably makes sense just by nature of what it's doing. We have got some decent documentation here, it looks like. I'm into that. Oh, there's a REPL object. Is that so we can make calls and do things in the patch? Huh. That's kind of fun. Oh, so, okay, so... Oh. I really like that. Okay, so how am I... So, okay, so maybe... There's got to be a command for setting for creating a new object with a scripting name, hasn't there? There's got to be. That's my... Up in the shortcut menu under named objects when we click the add above the text entry area in REPL. So where's the shortcut? Oh, is that what that was? Add shortcut menu. Okay, so well, let's just try what they were doing. So in the docs, they're saying set live dial, create a live dial. So that's my live dial. And then, so what, could I just set that to like, that's not going to be the syntax, is it? Oh! Oh, it is! Ooh. That's kind of cool. And it stays in the REPL command as the last thing that, so I could then just be like, hey. Okay, all right, so let's try some of that JavaScript stuff. So we, in an example down there, they were calling the scripting name. And then, so is that like a pointer that, or is that, it's not saying less than. Why did, what? JS, oh. Okay. What's that doing? I can go back. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I can control attributes as well. So what if live dial had? Well, no. Okay. So okay. So let's not try that. Let's try, instead of live dial, let's try our harmonic shift. The AA is there for. So can I pull in? Right, we're gonna just disconnect this because I want to just see like my ratio, for instance. Let's just have that there. I wonder if this is going to update if I then, what, so say like ratio argument? That would be a nice way of doing it. No, it's less than, right? And it's just 0. Oh, bad number. Bad number. Oh, okay, maybe that wasn't pointer. Is there a different way that I need to specify? I mean, I'm really just flailing around at this point, hoping to hit on something that worked, but kind of into it that you can just set things. That's gonna be a fiddly one to like remember. I think the like slow idiot part of my brain is gonna forget that this is an option, and I'm just gonna like go back to the mouse and drag the controller. But I feel like that doing float ratio. What? What that did. But it keeps it there in the menu as well. Like these are the things that I've used. Oh, okay. So float from before when I used it there. Okay, let's delete that. So that's kind of cool. I wonder if the AA is being added as just like an instance. So like if I had another one, is that going to give me another name? No. Oh yeah, no. Okay, maybe it's got an index value there. 1. Okay, interesting. But yeah, I think this is going to be a weird one to like. Let's just do it without the weird line. No, because it wasn't. Well, it knows I'm talking about the ratio because it's setting a new thing. I think I've just not got the JavaScript syntax down, which is fair. Okay, well, lots to play with here. Okay, coming up on an hour and 45 of fumbling around in new Macs. I haven't got to. Well, I haven't done anything particularly successfully, I would say. But, you know, for a first instance, I feel like I've got an idea of the things that are going on. Is there anything else that I wanted to look at today? I might try and do another one of these streams next week, because it's been fun. Andreas, I've very much enjoyed your patience with me, talking me through this, because I definitely would have given up if you haven't been pointing me in the right direction. So thank you very much. Yeah, I think there's a lot to play with here. Is it bad that the sort of like most satisfied part of all of this has just been the syntax highlighting? I've really enjoyed that. I just think that's nice. Like the REPL stuff is going to be confusing. The Ableton stuff I think is going to be a bit of a steep learning curve to like know what all of the different modules are doing and kind of how they're actually working under the hood. And the jitter stuff, like we'll get into another time. Just like the syntax highlighting. I mean, it's not worth the price of the update, but it's just nice. That and the shadow of the function object. Hell yeah. Cool. Let me just have a last look, just in case there was anything else that I like desperately wanted to have a look at. REPL. Oh, the preset mixing. Okay, okay. There's only a couple of you left, but let's just have a quick look at the preset mixing. What were we talking about earlier? Nodes, right? Save. Go away. So is it? Did we have interpolation before? Like, I know we had interpolation through nodes because that's how it's working, but it's kind of a spatial interpolation. But that's cool if... Oh my god. Oh my god. That's very cool. Could I... Oh, let's lose then. So nodes, for anyone that hasn't looked at it before, is like a proximity to the center of one of these circular nodes. We have this little thing. For anyone that ever used Leafcutter John's Forester sampler, which was a lovely instrument based in Max, and it kind of created a forest of nodes that you would like sort of wander around through, and it was just using like a drunk walk to like move around within this space, and you'd kind of fade between samples. It was great fun. I think it kind of came out of, what was the software that used to have it as like a audio mulch or something like that? Used to use this. Oh, that's just letting me move. Tabulation thing is kind of cool. So how are we setting this? In because what if you want to interpolate between 3 and 4? Oh, it's just limited there, so that's just capped. So let's just say, let's find out if this then moves to 4. Change that. Yeah, oh cool. I mean, it's going to be the worst panning algorithm if you wanted to set it up for panning audio, but I think it could be really, really cool if you start to layer up like a complex patch, you know, like maybe next time we do this, we'll like just dive full into one of the Ableton synths and just set up some nice preset sounds and then find ways of warping between them. I think we could do some really interesting things there. Oh yeah, that's lovely. That's a lot of fun. This is going to be one of those things like earlier where someone types in and be like, you've been able to do that since Max version 7. So what's new in... Was there a new thing in with the nodes object? Oh, it's just giving me JavaScript node stuff. Connect the nodes object to preset to interpolate presence. Oh, we've got shadow in. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. That's not specific to the nodes object. That's just saying we've got shadow alpha waveform drawing. Oh, we got waveform drawing. What's different about waveform? But I can't. I'm supposed to be looking at. Oh. Ugh. Buffer. I'm getting too distracted. I need to pick a thing. It's just so unnecessary. So unnecessary, but perfect. It's hard. I mean, okay, so we're gonna come back to it. We're gonna talk about the new logo. What's with the new Max logo? Like, I really liked the last few years where we've just moved towards a sort of slightly abstract representation of the version number. And then all of a sudden, we've just made it look like it's gone back to sort of weird graffiti style 3D object. It's a little cheesy, isn't it? But, oh well. Bless them. At least they're, trying something different. nodes used to connect to path to storage. Preset is just simpler. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. I think the preset thing will be nice to play around with, set a bunch of things up. I think maybe next time we'll have a closer look at that. But yeah. Okay, so we have, like I said, been fumbling around in Max 9 for nearly 2 hours. I've got a bit of a better idea about some of the things that are happening, which is exciting. I'm going to have a little practice with some of these objects, particularly REPL, and see what's what. And then maybe we can do this again next week at some point. Have a little bit of a clearer idea. Well, just less embarrassing for me, really. I made some really stupid mistakes here, so I can kind of get my practice back in for Max 9 and hopefully embarrass myself a little bit less. I can make one of those real slick videos where I show you something cool, like like I knew what I'm doing. But yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me. This has been a lot of fun. I've appreciated having you with me, having you in the chat. Thank you. And yeah, I hope you enjoy playing around with Max, if you want to play around with Max. If you have Max 9 and you have spotted all of the terrible mistakes I've made, or things I've misconstrued, please let me know. But yeah, hopefully you'll join me again for another one of these, because I've had a lot of fun. So thank you very much. Hope you all have a great week. For those of you that might be stateside, hope things go well. Frost. But yeah, thanks everyone. I'll see you next time.